Hi. When we think and sometimes we overthink, what we are actually doing is repeating the same thing again and again in our head. Overthinking is most of the time about the past or about the future, worrying what can happen in near future. So either it is about something which happened in the past which you don't have control right now, or something which can happen in the future and it is more imaginative. So when we overthink, what are the scenarios we overthink? Many times it is about the decision that we want to make. Many times it is about the things which we want to do. Many times it is analyzing and thinking about single thing, and we often think that we are actually thinking deeply, but we are analyzing it too much. Now, how do you differentiate that? I mean, am I analyzing or actually I'm thinking deeper? The easiest way is that when you are doing it repetitively, when the thought is repetitive and going around it often again and again, and when it is based on the fear than love, it is usually a overthinking. When it is deeper, then there is a clarity. When your brain fogs, that's an overthinking. When there is a clarity, then it is actually you're thinking more deeper and it has a spark out there. So it is very easy for you to understand overthinking deep, because one gives you clarity, other makes it difficult for you to take any decision or choices in your life. So that clears us about how do you differentiate between a deep thinking or an analyzing thought, and and deeper thinking gives you a productivity, whereas overthinking drains your energy. That's one easy difference to make. When you feel drained, it is most of the time overthinking, because it exhausts a lot of your energy. So today I want to give some tips about how do I stop overthinking. And it's not something which will be done within a day or two. It's a process, and it's a consistent process that you do with your own self, so that your habit, which you think is perfect and it is good and it's my strength, but is an actual self-sabotaging habit because it's not helping you move forward, can change by consistently doing some things which will stop this overthinking, and that energy is available for you to use it at the place which will help you to move forward and make you more productive. Hi, I'm Dr. Deepa Shetty here, speaking from my clinic called Saukyam. Mission of Saukyam is well-being of all. So overthinking is like a different lot of tab which is open on the computer. So when you open one tab and then you go to another tab, and then you open a Google, then you open ticket booking, or then you open Amazon, then you open Netflix. So you open so many tabs and you don't close any of them. When you don't close any of them, that's what is overthinking. So many tabs are open at a single movement and you're accessing all of them. So when you do that, they are all jammed and there's no clarity. Also, when we are overthinking, the information is in front of us but it is not available to us, because our mind is at different places in the single moment of time. That drains you off a lot, that exhausts you, and sometimes the memory may go out to the toss and you may not remember certain things what you are doing at this moment. Hence overthinking is an important thing that if you get aware, you got to stop it and make yourself free from this. Overthinking also comes across as something which is like I gave an example of how a computer tab is open. It also comes across as something which is a mental game that we play with ourselves. Now let me explain it to you in a different way. So when I'm explaining it to you, I'll give you the tips also to how you can overcome it. This whole thing I have taken from Mr. Brown's book, where he has described about how we can live a more simpler and peaceful life. I'll give you the name of the book at the end. But let's understand today how overthinking is a very, that might be a little difficult, but a simpler process. It is about making from a complex thing to a simpler thing. So you don't have to live a life perfect. You have to live your life simple. The moment you live it simple, it's easy, and it is lived in a very peaceful state. So the first thing that you have to address is separate story from the fact. So let me give you an example. Suppose if you are talking to somebody and that friend did not listen to you feel upset and you just go back to your room and you say to yourself that probably did not listen to me because I was not listening to him when he was telling his story. Probably I am not important in that person's life, hence he did not listen to me. Probably I don't think he likes me, so he did not listen to me. So many stories that you tell to one single thing that happened right now. So if you separate facts from the story, it is easier for you to process. The fact is the friend did not listen to you. The story is all the explanation that you gave right now to fill in that gap. So separate the fact from the story. That's it. The friend did not listen to you. He was not listening to me because he is occupied with his life. All that is something which is an imaginative story that you have built it up. You have to just take the simple fact, he did not listen to me right now. That's all. And if you just remain with that fact, you will not feel bad, you will not feel good, you will not feel upset, nothing. It's just a fact out there, like any other event around you. Like this pen is a fact. So it's just a simple fact out there. You separate that from the story, it stops lot of emotion that are flying and getting evolved. I wouldn't say evolved, but created with the stories that is getting attached to it. Sometimes the stories are so comforting that we keep telling them and keep feeling bad and justifying our feelings. Hence, stop this story. Separate the facts from the story and stop spiraling, repeating the same story again and again in your head and to the people in your life, and hence spiraling around the same thing again and again. If you want to stop this, you got to stop the story. You got to get aware of the fact. And one single important tip that I can give you here is take a book and write down the fact and the story. The moment you write down the fact and you write down the story, you see the difference in front of you. And that's when you get more aware of how we spiral around. Second important thing is separating decision and getting detached. Decision and detach. So when we do decisions in our life, many times we play so many scenarios in which a decision can stand perfect, it can be most apt, and I'm being very cautious and careful in taking decision in my life. But what happens actually is that you are exhausting yourself to take a decision because you're not able to decide immediately as a result of the consequences which might happen. It's something which might happen. Rather than creating so much probability of wrong decisions, you just take a decision or say yourself or give yourself a time limit that in half an hour or within 24 hours I'm going to take a decision, and take the decision, finish it off. Then detach from the decision. Don't go back and say probably I should have done this. Then I wouldn't have ended up doing these mistakes. Probably if I would have taken a different choice, then I would have got a different result. Stop all this. There's no regret. You just took the decision. Say it loud to yourself, decision made, and just stop it there. You could do this best decision with given information to you at this point of time to your best of your ability. And everything is right at that moment. Hence, take the decision and just close the chapter. It's not about not being cautious or careful or consequences you might face because of whatever decision you take. It's about not staying there in that zone and stopping yourself from taking a decision. So it's a self-sabotaging behavior. So it's important that you stop this and take the decision and move forward. That's what it's all about. It's not that I may take the right decisions all the time. In all probability, you may find that a better choice was available, but this is what you decided at that point, and you respect yourself for that. Hence, take the decision and detach. It did not mean a detachment from the consequences, it just mean detachment from continuously thinking about it and imaginary thinking that you may do the wrong or right thing. So, it is just a detachment from that part of thinking. Third is getting into present with any kind of sensory stimulus. Many times, since we are in the past or in the future, we stop being in present, and it's a very important part of your being. Being in this present moment in here will stop your overthinking. It will take your brain off, zap you off from all that spiraling and to and fro decisions. It will zap you out from all of it, and it will make the energy available to more productive and clarity at this present moment. It will allow you to be at peace with yourself in this present moment. And how do you do that? By doing small actions which are in the moment and which are sensory. So running your hand in a cold water, or taking a deep breath. That's also breathing is a present thing that is happening right now. It's not about long meditation, but just getting aware of your breathing by 10 count or so. It is about doing things which will make it more like counting things in your room, seeing things, 5 things in your room, listening or hearing 4 things in your room, touching 1 thing in your room, smelling 2 things in your room. So all the sensory organs of your, anything that is in line with those senses, do that. That will get you in the present. That will anchor you in the present, and you will not get back to that overthinking habit. So this is about not stopping or controlling your thoughts. It's about addressing the root cause. The root cause of overthinking. That is being more in the past and the future, and you're spiraling around. So that will clear the fogs of your brain when you stop this. Trying to form the new set of thoughts which will keep you anchored in the present when you take decision and detach. So all these steps will help you to stop those analyzing thoughts which are not productive, which are just draining your energy, and keep you more grounded, clearer in your thought, more peaceful to yourself, and quieten your restless mind. Then you will be able to stay with your own self, and you don't require any distraction out there to be with yourself and be at peace with yourself. Hope this video has added some value to your life. I don't mean overthinking is bad. It is just that it doesn't allow you to remain free with yourself right now. Thank you for listening to me. Do write in the comment section. See you again.